welcome back to another video from your favorite English school, which is English Solutions for Business and Life. Today we're going to be covering Unit 7. I'll change colors here. Unit 7 for that unit called New Business. And don't forget we're using our Market Leader book, and this is for you pre-intermediate student. This time around, we'll be covering vocabulary. So pay attention because we have a lot of valuable vocabulary. Let's begin. And this video we will be mostly review or explain in general the following. Economic terms. Very important in business. You should not go out there, do business without knowing these terms. So if you have any questions, you can always check with your teacher in the class. Or you can also Google them and search a little bit more if you have any questions, of course. Okay, just because pronunciation is very important, I'm going to ask you in your house, in front of your screen, to repeat the following terms. I'm just going to repeat them 2 times. So you should really do that and make sure that pronunciation is well done. So right now we care about the pronunciation, and later on we'll take care of the meaning and some examples and some explanations. Okay, so please repeat after me. Interest rate, interest rate. Exchange rate, exchange rate. Inflation rate, inflation rate. Labor force, labor force. Task incentives, task incentives. Government bureaucracy, government bureaucracy. GDP, GDP, or want to know it is gross domestic product, gross domestic product. Unemployment rate, unemployment rate. Foreign investment, foreign investment. Balance of trade, balance of trade. Okay, now that we double-checked that pronunciation, we'll proceed to give a definition and explain as much as we can on these. Alright? Okay, so let's begin with that first one, which is interest rate. Interest rate is a proportion of a loan. Don't forget that loan is money that you ask the bank, or there are some companies, or there are some places where you can ask for money. So one more time, it's a proportion of a loan that is charged. Don't forget, charged is something that you have to pay to the borrower. The borrower in this case is you, the person who gets the loan, typically expressed as an annual percentage of the loan. Annual, we're referring every year. Perhaps it would be more helpful if we write with a different color. Let's try this time around. We'll do light blue. Okay. So annual means every year. So every year, the interest rate will charge me an extra percent of that money that I asked for, maybe for a car, for a house, for a business, etc., etc. Now we have exchange rate. Exchange rate refers to the value of the currency for the purpose of conversion to another. Don't forget that currency refers to the type of money, the type of coin and banknotes. For example, we have in Mexico we have the peso. In the U.S. we have the dollars. What else? We have the yen. In Japan, we have the pound. Over there in Europe, etc., etc. So the value of the currency when we want to change from pesos to yen, for example, there's an exchange rate. There's a difference. So the peso costs some. It has some value, and the yen has a different value. Okay, so that's what it means. Exchange rate. Now we have inflation rate, and it is the percentage rate of change of a price index over time. So inflation, I think we're very familiarized with this word in Spanish too. So I don't believe that it is very necessary to re-explain this one. Let's move on to the next one. So now we have labor force. By labor force, we talk about all the members of a particular organization or population who are able to work. This means all the people, all the personnel, including from entry to top or corporate level. We're talking about all the persons, all the people who work or are able to work at an organization. We can use labor force, or we can use also workforce. Yes. If I'm not mistaken, labor would be more for the UK, and workforce would be more for the US or the American culture. Let's move on. Now we have tax incentives. Well, it is an aspect of a country's tax code designed to encourage. Don't forget that encourage means motivate. To give a good reason to motivate a particular economic activity. So there's going to be movement. We might want to make sure that we incentivize those taxes. Let's move on. Now we have the government bureaucracy. Pay attention to the spelling, but also as well pay attention to the pronunciation. Bureaucracy. It refers to the administrative system governing any large institution. Normally, government institutions have a system, a way, a protocol. So, let me write that correct. Protocol that we normally, as users, as clients, we don't like because it's tedious. It takes too much time. But well, bureaucracy will always be bureaucracy, and sometimes we have to follow their system. They have to follow their protocol. We have to follow the protocol. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. GDP, or gross domestic product. That is the monetary value of all finished goods. We talk about goods, everything that has a value. Everything that has a value, it's a good. And services produced within a country's borders in a specific time period. It is usually calculated on an annual basis. Don't forget that annual refers to every year. So by year, we'll make sure that we know this with 2015, 2016, etc. Okay, once again, this is a term that if you are into business or know about business, you should know. Just make sure you get it right. It's GDP. So it's standing for gross domestic product. Now we have unemployment rate. Unemployment rate comes from the word employ, which is pretty much job or work. Yes? So the unemployment refers to it is a measure of the prevalence of unemployment, people who do not have a job, and it is calculated as a percentage by dividing the number. We divide the number of unemployed people by all individuals currently working. So we have to make a number of unemployed between divided by the ones that by all of them, and you should get a number like right there. That's your rate, your employment rate. Okay, the next word, which is foreign investment. It refers to the flow of capital. We talk about money from one nation to another in exchange of ownership. So I'm gonna put some money in your country. Saying what do I get? I get ownership. I have something. I have property. I acquire property by putting money in your country. So that would be a foreign investment or foreign flow of money or capital. The next one is balance of trade, which is the difference in value between a country's imports and exports. I don't think I have to explain imports and exports. It's quite self-explanatory right there. And that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget that today we talked about vocabulary for Unit 7, name unit, new business book, market leader, pre-intermediate students. This video we saw pretty much economic terms, which are very important in business, and it will also make you sound cool. We saw these: interest rate, exchange rate, inflation rate, labor, etc., etc., etc. Made some comments. Make sure you watch the video again if you have any questions, or you can check with your teacher. Thank you very much for watching. See you at another video from your favorite school, which is none other than English Solutions. Goodbye, guys. See you on Unit 8.